when I was invited to this festival, the subject of the festival was especially that the writers will come and speak how they write, how they create the works, what is the condition in which they are writing, if they are starting from the beginning or starting from the end, all these details. And I have to say to you very openly that in my mind these questions are not important. Meaning that the question of how the writer, who is the writer, how many children he has, how his relationship with the environment, all these questions that people would like to know about writers and how they come to writing, not only they are not so important, but from time to time they can, I would say, put a kind of a curtain between the reader and the creation. When the book is coming out, the writer does not exist anymore. The book is yours. And you have to create your intimate relationship with the book without the interference of the writer. I was teaching, now I am in pension, I was teaching for a long time in university, in Haifa University. And when the students were asking me, what is the intention of this writer? What was the biography of this writer? I was saying to them, leave it alone. It's not so important. Try to concentrate with the creation itself. I can give you an example. For example, you get a book, and then you know that the writer is a homosexual. Immediately you can create a kind of a resentment to his book. Why? In the book there is nothing about homosexuality, or if there is, it is only in hints. Why you have to know the information about the writer before or while reading the book? I say all these things not in order not afterwards to do my duty. I was invited here and people were saying to me, the organizers, that I have to talk a little bit, at least in the beginning, about from which I came to the creation and what is the sources of my creation. So I will do it. But I have to say from the beginning, don't preoccupy yourself with the writers. Try to create this intimate and difficult relationship with the book itself, forgetting about the writer. But as I say, I must at least confess a little bit about the starting of my writing. You know, this morning I was going with my wife in the streets of Rome, and it was at about 8:30 in the morning. The streets were almost empty, and there was a little street, very narrow street, these wonderful streets of Rome. And there was an old lady that was going in front of us, and she saw me and said, "Bravo." I said, this old lady, she recognized me, and to stop like this and say bravo, I wanted to run after her, but she disappeared immediately. And this is always the question when I come to Italy and I see such a faithful and devoted public. I ask myself why I deserve this love and this interest from the Italian public. And perhaps it is coming from the fact that the real source of my writing, and I said it several times, is coming from the fact that my father was reading to me all the time the stories of Damicis from the heart. And I say these things because I remember very well the reading and my reaction and how it was going. I was about 7 or 8, or even less, perhaps even 5 and 6. And he was reading the stories. And I, in a certain moment, started to cry. Now, I think he was very happy to see me crying. He said, okay, this boy will not be with heart. At least he cries. So he cried not because someone was doing to him evil, but he cries about imaginary people. But I remember, and he was so, I would say, satisfied from the fact that I'm crying, that he was again and again reading me the same story, or again and again asking me to hear the story. And in a certain time, I was a little bit ashamed that I cry again on the same story, that I know exactly what is going there. Because I remember that my sister was hitting me yesterday, and this is the reason why I cry, not for the story, I know the story already.